This is the Show Up Show, helping coaches, service providers, leaders, and entrepreneurs to master showing up to build their brand, authority, and grow their business. Whether it's showing up on social media, in front of an audience, on a live interview, or an actual stage, this podcast is going to help you overcome visibility fear to confidently brand yourself as the authority in your industry. I'm Joanne Chan, aka the Confidence and Visibility Queen, and I am on a mission to share how I went from a nobody to the confident leader I am today, what I have learned, and what I have done to build my brand and business from scratch, and help you do the same so that you can make an impact in the world with the meaningful work that you do. Whether you are new to the business world or feeling unsure about public visibility, or you want to be seen and heard in a way that doesn't feel icky but authentic to you, you will discover how to become visible in your own unique way and show up as the confident entrepreneur you have always dreamed about becoming. Now, it's time to get you show up and be confidently visible so you can easily attract more clients and opportunities for yourself. Let's talk about podcasting. If you're listening to this or watching this, I know you love podcasts just like I do. And if you don't already have your own podcast, my goal is by the end of this episode, you will be excited about starting your own podcast, and I am going to help you do just that. So stay to the end because I will share with you a golden opportunity and the next step for you to take if you want to start your own dream podcast. But first, why does every coach, entrepreneur, aspiring speaker, or thought leader need a podcast? Because the fastest way to grow your brand and business is with visibility and attention. And we all know that podcasts have surged in popularity because we see them everywhere. But do you know there are over 464.7 million people listening to podcasts every day all over the world? It's becoming one of the fastest growing mediums on the internet. If you don't believe me, just go and Google the stats. Which is why having your own podcast is the best way to reach your target audience, to build your brand and emerge as an icon in your industry. It gives you a significant advantage in a crowded market because your business growth depends on your ability to reach and resonate with your audience consistently. And podcasting has truly become a global phenomenon. And recently, we just celebrated the International Podcast Day on the 30th of September. So let me share with you the 3 ways you can get the influence, impact, and income that comes with podcasting. First, podcasting accelerates your authority and builds your raving fans community. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast, well, let me tell you, it's not just about talking into a microphone. It's about supercharging your authority. With a podcast, you get to establish your voice and share your expertise consistently. You get to share your wisdom, experiences, and insights with the world. When you consistently offer valuable content, people start to see you as the go-to expert in your industry. That itself is a game changer when it comes to attracting the right clients. Because when your potential clients listen to your podcast long enough, eventually they will become your clients. It's just a matter of time. But only if you have a validated offer or irresistible offer will you get clients from your podcast. And not just that, podcasting has lasting impact. Here's the beauty of it, because podcasts are evergreen and your podcast episodes have a long shelf life. Unlike a tweet that is forgotten in seconds or an IG story that expires in 24 hours, your podcast stays out there, meaning that your podcast episodes can continue to attract listeners long after the initial release as more and more people discover you and your podcast. After all, podcast listeners, we are bingers of content. We love nothing more than diving into a podcast series to learn and get real value. Second, podcasting is the fastest way to build your personal brand. Building a personal brand is like crafting your own unique identity, and podcasting is the rocket ship that can get you there. Let me ask you, have you ever heard of the phrase, voice is the window to the soul? Well, it's true. Podcasting lets you connect with your audience on a personal level. They hear your voice, they hear your passion, and your personality. So in podcasting, you get to be you. No filters, no scripts. You can be authentically yourself. And people love that. Your quirkiness, your stories, your humor, and your insights all shine through your podcast. And that's what makes your personal brand so relatable. This builds trust and connection like nothing else, and it turns listeners into your biggest fans. Think about it. I'm sure you listen to podcasts, right? And you don't listen to all the podcasts out there, but I'm guessing it's just a selected few. Why? For me, I listen to a podcast because I like the host. I like the way they ask questions. I like the way they interact with their guests and basically their style of podcasting. I listen to them because I like them. So being authentically you is key. But if you have been listening to my podcast long enough, you also know that consistency is also the key to success, especially when it comes to podcasting and brand building. And podcasting makes it easy. How so? When you deliver episodes regularly, you show your audience that you mean business and you are not just a hobbyist. Consistency builds trust and reliability and is essential for your personal brand. And again, building a personal brand is all about standing out from the crowd. In the sea of written content and social media posts, your podcast cuts through the noise and showcases your expertise and your unique perspective in a way that is memorable. Because you have a unique voice, you have a powerful voice, and people remember that. It sets you apart from your competitors. The last thing that I want to say is podcasting gives you the all-in-one branding. It's not just about audio content, it's also about video content, visual, social media promotion, and more. A podcast episode, whether it's just you or you with a guest or you being a guest, is the best content to be repurposed. It gives you the full package that helps you create a cohesive, recognizable brand across the social media world. Finally, podcasting is the best way to reach your audience. And we all know the reason why we do online marketing is so that we can get our message to our target audience, and it's the name of the game. And podcasting is the MVP of this game. Here's why. Like I mentioned briefly earlier, podcasts are like a 24/7 open shop. Anyone with a smartphone or computer or an internet connection can listen in. It's the ultimate convenience for your audience. It's easily accessible at any time and anywhere. You can even download all the episodes and listen to them offline when you don't have a Wi-Fi. And we all have time to listen to podcasts because unlike video or written content, blog posts or articles that demands your full attention, podcasts are multitasking friendly. Your audience can listen while they are driving, exercising, or doing house chores. It's a fantastic way to capture their attention during their daily tasks. It's true because I don't listen to podcasts, I only listen to podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I go for a walk, when I commute, when I cook, which is very rare, or when I'm having dinner or lunch. And no matter what your niche is, there is a podcast audience out there ready for you. Podcasting breaks down geographical boundaries, so you can connect with audience worldwide who wants to learn and actively seeking out knowledge and information that you are passionate about sharing and teaching. Like for instance, this morning when I check, I have listeners from 65 different countries that I have not even heard of. And your podcast can only grow because it's the most shareable content on the internet. People love to share their favorite podcasts with their friends and family or business partners, and that helps you spread your show and expand your reach far and wide. So there you have it. Podcasting isn't just a trend. It's a fantastic way to supercharge your authority, build a community, skyrocket your personal brand, and connect with your audience like never before. And can I be honest with you? Because I really want you to succeed. Every day that passes without launching your podcast is a missed opportunity for expanding your influence and growing your brand exponentially. The sooner you begin, the sooner you can reap the rewards. Trust me, I'm so glad that I started podcasting 3 years ago when I first started, and it brought me to where I am today. So here's my invitation for you. If you're after massive skill, you have audacious goals and visions, and you are serious about making a meaningful impact in the world with your unique voice and story, and if you want the recognition and respect that you are an authority at what you do, if you say yes, I want to help you launch your dream podcast in 10 days and become a known thought leader and emerge as a rock star in your industry. This is for you, especially if you're a coach, consultant, service provider, entrepreneur, thought leader, speaker, author. Right now is the perfect time to start your own podcast. So I am doing a Launch Your Dream Pod 10 days live bootcamp. If you are ready to capture your market share, build a strong, authentic personal brand for yourself, go to Instagram now and send me a DM on Instagram at joanne.chan and send me the word bootcamp and I will send you the details. If you are listening to the very end, I know you have been thinking about it, or have been procrastinating, or doubting yourself, or you just don't know where to start. With my help, you will finally hit the record button and start sharing your voice with the world with ease and confidence. That is my promise to you. Right, so send me a DM on Instagram at joanne.chan and I would love to share more details with you. Hi there, thanks for listening today, and I would love to meet you at our virtual dinner party. Once or twice a month, we come together as a community in a safe and empowering environment to help and support one another in our entrepreneurship journey. So what is a virtual dinner party? A VDP is not a networking event, it's not a teach event, and it's not a webinar where you don't get to talk. I want you to imagine the VDP being a cross between a mastermind, speed dating, and a Tony Robbins event. And most importantly, there is nothing for sale. My goal for you in attending our VDP is to help you build real confidence, gain more visibility for yourself, and build a deeper connection within our community. What is the catch? There isn't one. If you're a coach, consultant, entrepreneur, or podcaster, come and join us for a truly unique and world-class experience. And there is a choice of dates and times for you to attend. To RSVP, just send me a DM on Facebook with the word VDP now.